You're watching WLKY News at 8 a.m. Live, local, late breaking with Christina Mora, Lexi Sheen, weather with Suzanne Horgan, and the home of WLKY News Chopper.
And good morning to you. I'm Christina Mora.
I'm Lexi Sheen, live from Ironman Louisville 2013. Now we're at the swim transition point. They're heading into the biking round. More from this location coming up in a few minutes.
Okay, Lexi, we'll check back in with you in just a second, but first let's get a forecast from meteorologist Suzanne Horgan. Good morning, Suzanne. It's a hot one out there.
It is going to be a hot one. Temperatures will soar into the lower 90s, so at least they're getting off to a cool start this morning by taking a dip in the Ohio River. Good morning, everyone. It is 8:31. As we go ahead and take a live look outside, they're on their bikes and they are hustling now. Of course, these are some of the top athletes right now, the elite athletes that have already completed the 2.4-mile swim. Now they're getting ready for that 112-mile bike race, and you can see the sun is shining down on them, and the sun is going to be beating down on those athletes throughout the entire race today. So keep in mind, they did the swim, now they're doing the bike. They're going to wrap everything up with a little jog of only about 26.2 miles, finishing with a marathon race for the Ironman Louisville. And a lot of people, of course, very excited about this race today because it may qualify them for the big Hawaii Ironman. So lots of people out there. And take a look at all the spectators as well. Beautiful sunshine maybe for those spectators. If you are going out to watch at least one leg of the race, certainly want to make sure that you've got your sunglasses and your sunscreen for today. And you can see those racers are hauling this morning on their bikes. So some awesome stuff going on all around Louisville. We have weather that is going to cooperate for the most part. Yes, it's going to be hot, but it's not going to be terribly humid, and we are looking at rain-free skies for today. Here's another live perspective, and you can see everything looking good right now. No problems as far as precipitation. We are anticipating dry skies throughout the day today, but as I mentioned, temperatures will warm up very quickly throughout the day today. We do have, in fact, abundant sunshine out there right now. Temperatures are currently 67 degrees at the International Airport. We're in the upper 50s in Austin, 59 degrees in LaGrange right now, 57 degrees in Madison. As we take a look at your forecast for today, at noon, 85 degrees, lower 90s at 5 o'clock. 82 degrees at 10 o'clock under mostly clear skies, and we are looking for warm weather throughout the day today. Our forecast high, 91 degrees. Keep in mind, it is going to be very hot for the marathon portion of the Ironman competition for today. Definitely going to continue to be sunny. And again, we'll look for that heat to continue not only for today, but also into the bulk of next week as well. As far as our opportunities for rain, they are going to be few and far between. On a few afternoons in the 7-day forecast, we'll at least have the risk of a few spotty showers or thunderstorms. But the bottom line is we are looking at an extended period of very hot weather, and in some cases, perhaps even dangerously hot. By Wednesday, temperatures may even reach into the middle 90s. So we'll check that out with your 7-day forecast coming up. But right now, let's send it back over to Christina.
Suzanne, thank you. We'll continue our Ironman coverage in just a moment, but first we want to update you on some late breaking news we brought you early this morning. Police investigating a motorcycle crash right now at the intersection of Baxter and Highland. Authorities say it happened around 3 o'clock this morning, a motorcycle versus car. We are hearing from our crew that was on the scene. Police arrested a man driving the car. Also, we're hearing that the man was intoxicated. Again, we'll bring you more information as it becomes available. But for now, 8:35, Lexi Sheen has been out there since very dark and early. Now the sun is up. Those swimmers in the water. Now there's some bicyclists as well. Lexi, what can you tell us about the competition so far?
Well, Christina, we've had pretty much a front row view since the very beginning. I'm really hoping that my photographer, Reed Bolton, doesn't decide to just shove me in the water and let me give this an attempt, this 2.4-mile swim. I would not be very good at it. But joining me right now, Katie Whiting, she knows someone who is very good at this. Her husband, you guys are from Columbus, Ohio. Drove down. Tell us about your husband's experience with this and why he decided to do this Ironman.
Well, he signed up on his birthday, and he's participated in a couple Olympic distances, but this is his first full Ironman. we were really inspired by a lot of the stories and other athletes that we know. And I think everyone is a winner for being here today. It's so inspiring. And if you haven't had a chance to come out and experience one of these, I encourage everyone to be here.
It's such a great energy down here from all the spectators. Was he nervous before jumping in this morning? I'm sure you are nervous being, watching him go through this.
Oh yes, it's definitely been a family affair. He was nervous, but I think a lot of the adrenaline is going to get him through. He was more excited about being here finally after 9 months or so of training. Here we go.
Yeah, definitely some intense training. And do you guys have any idea where he is at this point?
He was one of the last people to get in, so we're hoping that he's about 40 minutes in, and so we're waiting probably another 40 minutes for him to get out and then see him off on the bike.
My goodness. All right. Well, best of luck to him, and best of luck to you all as you stand here and watch for him. It's so hard to find who you're looking for. They've all got their green and pink swim caps on. Tons of spectators down here. This is really the great place to be if you are heading down this way. I know that we've got a great look here at all these swimmers that are hopping out at this transition point, giving you a better look here as they're heading up then to the Great Lawn to do that transition onto the biking course. I know we've got the WLKY News Chopper up. Hopefully we can get a shot from them above River Road where they were hovering above some of those cyclists that were actually hitting the trail on that 112-mile bike ride. They'll head into Oldham County, do 2 laps there, and then head back to the Great Lawn where they will all kick off that full marathon run around downtown Louisville. They'll check out Churchill Downs. They'll see the University of Louisville. So they're going to see some of those iconic Louisville things on this race route. And that's really what some of these athletes enjoy most about this kind of urban route that they're getting to see here. Certainly an exciting time, about 8.5 hours for those pros to finish up here. 50 qualifying spots. This is the last time, the last Ironman race this year that they can qualify for the Kona World Championships in Hawaii. That's going to be in October. There are a number of athletes that are vying for those positions, and if they don't make it, there's always next year coming back, and you can sign up starting tomorrow for that. So Christina, I'm going to send it back to you. Certainly an exciting time to be down here. We encourage everyone to come down.
All right, Lexi, we will check back in with you in just a short bit. Right now, 8:37, the most grueling race of its kind is back, of course, for a 7th year, as we've been mentioning. One man, a U of L strength and conditioning coach, is putting his energy into more than just training. Here's the story of Jason Dierking.
I'm not going to say it's impossible. It's possible, but it's going to take quite a miracle at the same time to make that happen.
Anything is possible. It's the Ironman motto and a phrase that has more than one meaning to Jason Dierking.
My friend Tom Morris was injured in a mountain biking accident back in May of 2012. He flipped over his handlebars and ended up breaking his neck and becoming paralyzed from about the chest down.
Jason and Tom worked together as college strength coaches. They'd raced together in the past. Now their competitive spirits brought them new challenges. Tom's took him to Louisville's Fraser Rehab.
When he was faced with this injury, it was just in his nature to fight, and rehab was his training.
Jason's challenge, a full Ironman. A 2.4-mile swim, 112-mile bike ride rounded out by a full marathon, running 26.2 miles.
I wanted to do a half Ironman for me, but since he was not going to be able to join me, I was going to do his half Ironman for him. As soon as I told him that I was going to do the Ironman, immediately it was, you've got to qualify for Hawaii.
To qualify for the World Championship in Kona, Jason will have to finish in roughly 10 hours. But for him, it's not just about crossing that finish line. He's also set a big goal to raise $100,000 for Fraser Rehab patients like Tom who come from out of town for treatment.
A lot of patients find a cab to get them to and from rehab. And these are people that live in a wheelchair. So it's a major challenge. And it's a major expense. I'm going to keep pushing until we get to that goal. It might not be on Ironman Day that we get to that 100,000, but I'm going to keep pushing and make sure that that happens.
And in case you didn't know, Ironman is an iconic triathlon that has made a stop in Louisville every year since '07. And nearly 3,000 athletes from around the world are competing right now. Here's a rundown of how the Ironman works. The first part of the race is the swim course. These athletes jumped into the Ohio River around 7 o'clock this morning. The swim start is in a rolling fashion, which means first come, first serve. The course will take 2 hours and 20 minutes after the last athlete hits the water. The race lasts for 2.4 miles. After that comes the bike course, which is 112 miles long. There is a cutoff at the second loop of the course at 2:30, so any athlete who hasn't reached that point by 2:30 will not be allowed to continue. Now, the bike course will close at 6:20 tonight. The final leg of the race will be the running portion, which lasts 26.2 miles. For that, there is a cutoff at the course at 9:45. Any athlete who doesn't make it there by 9:45 can't continue. The run starts on the Great Lawn at Waterfront Park, where Lexi is this morning, and ends at 4th Street Live. The competition officially ends at midnight. Also, drivers can expect delays throughout the city today because of those multiple street closures. Some of the biggest closures right here: Witherspoon Street from Preston to Bingham, River Road from Preston to 4th, Brook Street from Witherspoon to Main, Main Street from Brook to 3rd, and 4th Street from Liberty to Chestnut. You can check out our website, WLKY.com, if you didn't catch all of those. Moving on to other news this morning, 8:41, police are investigating after 3 people were shot downtown. Authorities say it happened around 11 o'clock last night in the 500 block of East Kentucky Street. All 3 victims were transported to U of L Hospital. Their names and conditions have not been released, and no suspects either. So if you have any information, police want to hear from you. 574 LMPD. At least one person is injured after a police chase ended in a crash. This is where a GMC Envoy came to rest on railroad tracks in the Shively area. Metro officers were chasing the SUV eastbound on Shawnee Expressway when the vehicle exited the highway and crashed. There were also reports of shots fired. No police officers were injured. One of the city's most rundown cemeteries is getting some help from U of L students.
This is one of the sites we decided to come do community service around and just kind of give back to the community. As U of L students, we try to do that as much as possible.
Volunteers from SOUL, which is U of L's Student Outreach Uniting Louisville program, donated their time to spruce up Greenwood Cemetery on Hale Avenue. The cemetery has been around since 1860. It had to close in 1989, and since that time, it's been up to volunteers to maintain the grave sites.
And we've got to figure out as a city and as a state what we're going to do about cemeteries like this.
All of that was part of a service project for U of L students.
And good morning. Right now it is 8:42. We're beginning to heat up just a little bit more. We have a live perspective from our WLKY news chopper right now of the last swimmer that is heading back to shore about over to the bike portion of the Ironman Louisville Triathlon. We'll continue to have live pictures showing you exactly what's going on from this bird's eye perspective from our WLKY news chopper. So again, it's 8:43 right now. Temperatures are going to be soaring into the lower 90s later this afternoon. Plenty of sunshine out there. So we'll continue our live coverage coming up.
Now, your WLKY weather with Suzanne Horgan.
And good morning. Right now it is 8:46 and we are taking a live look from the WLKY news chopper from River Road. And you can see all of the triathletes continuing now on the bike portion of the race. They have already completed their 2.4-mile swim. Now they are getting started on their 112-mile bike race. So you can see they are flying down River Road right now. They're going to head into LaGrange, and from what Lexi was saying earlier this morning, that's where the athletes get a bit of a boost of energy because there are so many spectators there that continue to cheer on the athletes there. So again, we saw one lone swimmer in the Ohio River still waiting to finish out the swim portion. So they've got 112 miles to continue to do on the bike portion of River Road. And then they move on to the 26.2-mile race that takes them through downtown Louisville for the run portion of the Ironman competition. And so many people, of course, very excited about this particular race because it can help to qualify them for Hawaii. So awesome stuff going on there. The weather is going to be hot for those athletes, though, so keep that in mind. Even if you're a spectator, temperatures will be in the lower 90s. Let's go ahead and move on to our WLKY Doppler network and show you what we have going on here. We do, in fact, have quiet conditions. We are anticipating quiet conditions throughout the day today. Lots of sunshine, temperatures recovering to about 91 degrees. Making our way into the afternoon hours, still staying quiet overnight down to about 69 degrees. Throughout the day on Monday, dry skies, hot out there. Temperatures recover into the lower 90s, taking you into Tuesday. Not out of the question to perhaps see a few storms firing up with the heating of the day during the afternoon hours. And you'll notice that as a trend for the 7-day forecast. During the afternoon hours, very typical of summer, we could see some of those storms fire up with the heating of the day. Other than that, we are talking about hot and humid weather. 60 in Austin, 67 degrees in Louisville, 61 degrees in Munfordville. Now, as far as your forecast for the next several days, we are turning up the heat. 91 degrees for tomorrow, 92 degrees by Tuesday, 95 on Wednesday. Wednesday looks to be the very hot day. We'll have heat index values in the triple digits on Wednesday. Thursday, 93 degrees, 92 degrees by Friday. And then as we head into your Saturday, 93 degrees. Now, keep in mind, during the afternoon hours for this upcoming work week, it's not going to be out of the question for us to see a few of those pop-up showers or thunderstorms. We're not looking at any one day being a washout, but certainly the possibility will be with us. Mainly dry skies, with the exception of those afternoon storms that we will look to fire up during those peak heating times of the day. Now let's send it back over to Christina.
Thank you, Suzanne. 8:49 now. Many people use vitamins to make up for diet deficiencies, but taking them could be a certain way could be bad for your health. Mega doses of certain vitamins can actually shorten your life and may increase the risk of heart disease and cancer. Healthcare officials say you should carefully research which vitamins you're taking. Doctors also say it's important to eat plenty of fruits and vegetables with antioxidants, which can lengthen your life. And the Department of Agriculture is giving local students healthier options in the cafeteria. An official from the agency and Congressman John Yarmouth had lunch this week with students at Jacob Elementary School. The USDA's Farm to School program provides grant money to school districts to buy locally produced foods and teach students where their food comes from. And Lyme disease is the most common tick-borne disease in the U.S., usually transmitted through infected deer ticks. Now a new report shows just how many people are diagnosed each year. Jerika Duncan has the details.
Duran Moore was diagnosed with Lyme disease as a teenager. Now new numbers show the disease is much more common than previously reported. The CDC estimates around 300,000 people each year are diagnosed with the tick-borne disease. Usually only 20 to 30,000 cases are reported each year.
We've always suspected that there's at least 10 cases of Lyme disease for every one that shows up at the CDC.
Researchers looked at data from 3 studies to try and get a more accurate picture of Lyme disease in the U.S. The majority of cases are in 13 states in the Northeast and Upper Midwest. Doctors say oftentimes Lyme disease is misdiagnosed. Some patients find themselves going from one specialist to another, only to find out they've had Lyme disease for years. Early symptoms include a rash or flu-like symptoms, fever, headache, and fatigue. But if the disease goes untreated, it can lead to joint pain, neurological problems, and even heart issues.
If you catch Lyme within the first few weeks, it's so much easier to treat. So often, a few weeks of oral antibiotics.
Duran says it took doctors 2 years to figure out she had Lyme.
I believe had I been diagnosed sooner and treated quicker, a lot of my symptoms would have lessened.
She still suffers with painful joints and exhaustion, but says she's feeling better since she started her latest round of antibiotics. Jerika Duncan, CBS News, Mount Kisco, New York.
Okay, 8:51 now on your Sunday morning. Take a look at this. You still have a number of swimmers making their way right there on their 2.4-mile swim. Once they get out of the water, you can see they head on to get their bike. That's where they're going on their 112-mile bike ride. And then once they're done with all of that, they still have 26.2 miles to run. This is the Ironman Louisville competition going on right now at the waterfront and throughout downtown Louisville. A wonderfully hot day. Suzanne?
We're talking about temperatures that are going to make it to 91 degrees for today. Mostly sunny skies and certainly hot out there. Winds from the south at about 5 to 10 miles per hour.
And right now, get out those Powerball tickets. Here are the numbers from last night's drawing: 12, 17, 25, 45, 59, Powerball 19. No lucky winners, so the jackpot grows to an estimated $116 million, and your Mega Millions jackpot $69 million. Okay, 8:55 now. This year's Ironman Louisville is well underway. Thousands of athletes right now competing. They're from around the world. They've traveled here to take part in the Ironman competition. WLKY's Lexi Sheen has been there all morning long at the waterfront park to tell us how the race is going so far. Good morning, Lexi.
Good morning. So far, it is great down here. 47 countries represented. Almost every state in the U.S. is here. Pretty much all eyes are on Louisville this morning. We've seen a ton of people getting out of the water right here. They're all running up this length, heading to the Great Lawn to get on their bikes at that transition point. They said they're going to cut off the swim at 10:03 this morning. That's 2 hours and 40 minutes past the point where that last athlete got into the water. Now, we do, of course, have the WLKY News chopper up above that transition point, which is kind of one of those hectic time periods for the athletes. I spoke to a mother just a minute ago. She said her son and a bunch of his friends, they're all part of the Navy SEAL Team 8. They're all doing this competition, and she said even though he's SEAL, this is actually her worst nightmare. She said she's so nervous for him because really this is a grueling race that these people are undergoing right now. They're about to embark on this 112-mile bike ride if they're not already on that. And all these spectators are here supporting them. Thousands of people gathering around Waterfront Park. If you do have time, get down here, get out to Oldham County and support them. They need that encouragement and that energy, and this is just a great place to be. Christina, we've had a blast down here this morning. We're wishing everyone the best of luck during the Ironman.
Thank you so much. It does look like they've had a lot of fun, and the people competing, I don't know if you would call that fun or...
It's fun for them.
Exhilarating, you know?
Yes, quite an accomplishment. Guys, it's going to be hot out there. Temperatures in the lower 90s for today, lower 90s tomorrow as well. 92 on Tuesday, staying hot all week.
Have a great day. Thanks for watching.